Hello, everybody. This is Megan Gallagher, aka Meg Squats, and I'm here with Jennifer Milliken.
Hi.
The newest member of the 63 kilo class, and I'm so excited to have her here. We are commentating for the Primetime 72 kilo women and 93 kilo men. This is the Titex Primetime. So, yeah, we just had Taryn Albright getting us started with a 140 kilo opener. The cast actually has, or the commentator who's live at the meet had that slightly wrong. Taryn took her opener first, and I believe this is April. There we go. This is Haley. Next up for squat openers is Rory Alter. Rory, I believe, is one of the only lifters who was in this class, in this primetime class last year. So this class has actually had a lot of changes from last year's primetime, and Rory has been sticking with it. A lot of weight class changes for some of the other lifters, so we've got a bunch of new fresh faces, and Rory's stayed within it for the past couple of years. Unfortunately, she's missed that opener. Actually, Rory and I spoke earlier this week, and she mentioned to me that she's been dealing with a hip fracture injury ever since the Arnold. So, unfortunately, we saw it right there in that opener. I'm hoping that she can come back from that and get back in this meet.
Absolutely. Rory will definitely come back and get that.
Yeah. She's a fierce competitor. She's one that's like maybe one of the most fun to watch.
Yes, absolutely. Lift is not good.
Soraya got called on some depth, I believe, there. Next we have Gina Hensley.
Gina opening at 152.5, which is 336 pounds, 336 pounds for our pound people in the world.
You know, we are USAPL, but since we're made up of all the international countries, we score everything in kilos. So if you're watching from home, wondering why everything is scored in kilos, that's why.
All right, so Gina is in the meet with a 336-pound opener. We have Jordan opening with a 160-kilo squat. 352 pounds.
So usually when you're competing, for anyone who's watching and hasn't been to a powerlifting meet, maybe some family of all the lifters here or some people who are new to the sport, usually the opener is something that you want to just confidently hit. Sometimes people recommend something you can hit for an easy set of 3. Maybe
Correct.
That's a good general guide, but usually these opening attempts should be something easy peasy. Now, when you have a lifter miss their opener, whether it be a technical miss, hopefully it's a technical miss and not a strength miss, that's when the meet starts getting even more and more interesting, because in this primetime session, the lifters are so competitive and at the top of their class that everyone kind of needs to put together a full meet so that it's 9 total lifts.
Right, every kilo matters. Every pound matters. So we have Ellen Liverpool with 162.5 kilos, 358 pounds.
And actually talked to some of Ellen's teammates from Bill McCarthy is her coach. Easy opener for her there, looked really confident. They actually told me that Ellen is a former hammer thrower in field. So she's a former athlete in college. So it's cool to see another strength sport, moving over to powerlifting.
Absolutely.
So this is Chloe Dublin. She's actually the sub-junior world champion, I believe. Super strong lifter. Looks like she's from Midland University, which I've met a ton of collegiate lifters from Midland University. So a huge college team. I think they actually give powerlifting scholarships at the school.
Chloe Dublin is a recipient of the Midland Scholarship.
Awesome. Awesome to see lifters getting some, money to support thetheir secondary education.
Yes.
That's something that hasn't always been there. So
yes, easy opener for Chloe there. That was 165. Was that 363 pounds for Chloe, so she's in
nice.
it. Kristen Dunsmore recently moving up to the 63 kilo class, or 72 kilo class, sorry. Moved up from 63 to 72.
So you moved up to 63, and Kristen Dunsmore moved up to 72.
Right.
Making room for everyone.
Yes.
Kristen also, easy opener for her, but she's also been dealing with some injury lately. She's dealing with a piriformis injury, so I talked to her. Her and I are actually pretty good friends, and she is wanting to hit a 182.5 kilo squat today.
Yes,
so if
breaking
she can,
into that 400-pound mark on the squat.
That's for perspective. That's my deadlift. So she's squatting that, which is pretty awesome. So I hope that she can hit that, because I know she's dealing with an injury, and she's hit that before in a meet. So she's trying to keep things in perspective, not maybe looking for a total PR or looking for a huge number today, but something that she's hit before so that she can match that again.
Yes, that is always the goal. Maddie Scott here, opening at 180 kilos, 396 pounds.
And Maddie here, nice opener. She's laughing, having a good time. I've heard from several people today that Maddie Scott is predicted or suspected to try the squat record. So the squat record is 188 kilos, which is 414 pounds. Does that sound right? Let me do the math in my kilo conversion there. But she is suspected to try that squat record. And I believe that's Kim Walford's squat record. So if she can break that, that will make it for a fun night. Taryn Albright has also moved up from the 63 class. This is her first nationals as a 72. It's nice to move up and still be in the primetime session. So
yes.
It's pretty exciting.
Always nice. Yeah, so we're going into second attempt squats here. So Taryn just took her second attempt at 147.5, 325 pounds. That was a good lift. In powerlifting, you have 3 attempts at each lift. You submit your opening attempt, and then you can either repeat it or go up, but the bar never goes down.
Correct. So we have Rory here, although she missed her 150, her initial attempt, probably because she's dealing with that hip fracture injury. She's going to try it again. So I really hope that she can pull through and kind of get through squats, because I'm assuming that her squat has taken the biggest hit with her injury that she's been dealing with. There she goes. It looks like maybe she just felt a little pain in her opener, because that looks like a nice, easy weight for her. So maybe she felt a little pain, and it just wasn't there for her on the first one. So she's in the game. We've got all our lifters, I believe, in the game so far, except for Soraya Salami. So let's have her make this 155. She's actually jumped up 2.5 kilos. She just missed it on depth. So I think she's got it. A confident small jump for her, so she's just got to stick the depth just a little bit more to get that call from those judges. No lift again. So she's actually got 3 red lights on that one, and if you're new to powerlifting, you might not see them on the live cast here, but there are 2 side judges who are mostly checking for depth, and then a judge in front of the lifter. So right at this view where we can see Haley here. So there's 3 judges making sure that the lifter is squatting to depth and following the commands. So unfortunately, Soraya did not hit depth on that last one, so hopefully she can get it on her 3rd and final attempt.
Yes. So the other part of powerlifting, those of us that are new, is that you have to get at least one attempt for each lift in. If you don't make a squat or you don't make one of the lifts, then you bomb out. Which
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that.
Nobody
ever.
wants a bomb.
Nobody wants a bomb, particularly in prime time.
Correct. Correct. We've got, at least I've been seeing on the live stream yesterday, at least compared to the morning sessions, the viewership of the live stream was like maybe around 1,000 views, and then primetime was 30,000 people were tuned in to watch some of that meet. So there's just so many other people watching, so many eyes are on this primetime session. So you're kind of in the spotlight.
For sure.
Well deserved, because you are the better lifters. So, I'm hoping that she can put it together. Seems like she's got, a strong squat there. Just got to stick a little bit deeper.
Exactly. So we had Gina there, was good for 162.5 kilos. We have Jordan with 165.
There you go. A little tough for Jordan Davis, but looks like a pretty confident second.
Absolutely. 165 kilos, 363 pounds. Ellen Liverpool coming with 170 kilos for a second attempt, 374 pounds, 375.
So Ellen, not only a hammer thrower, but her friends told me, her teammates embarrassed her a little bit. She's also a rocket scientist.
Oh.
So
every day
no
sort of life.
She's also lifting in the primetime session in one of the most competitive classes in powerlifting. So that's Ellen Liverpool for you, everyone. And a solid, confident second attempt at 170 kilos. Extremely impressive.
Yes. Chloe Dublin coming in for second squat attempt at 175 kilos, 385 pounds. Chloe, as we said earlier, is going to Midland with a powerlifting scholarship. Chloe actually came down and trained at my gym last year before the Arnold. She came and hung out with us, trained, and she goes hard.
Nice. There she goes. Squatting like a scholarship depends on it. I love to see it. A little bit more on the line maybe for her. So it's exciting to see her having like a so far successful day.
Yes.
I'd like to squat with Chloe Dublin and Jen Milliken. Where was my invite?
Come on. Anytime. You're always welcome at the Ogre Compound. Kristen Dunsmore with also same attempt, 175 kilos, 385 pounds.
There we go. Kristen Dunsmore squatting like she hasn't been dealing with an injury for the past couple of months.
Very solid second attempt for Kristen. Her
Nice.
best looks like 182.5. So she looks in position to maybe go for a PR there on her third attempt.
I'm hoping so.
So this is an American record for Maddie, 188.5 kilos, 415 pounds.
So she's attempting the American record on her second attempt. Pretty unbelievable. Let's see if I hope she gets it, because that will make this even more fun, because she has another attempt to try to even chip that record even more. So let's see what she hits. Her last was really confident, and she's just saying, I'm going for it.
Let's go, Maddie.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Amazing. And the white lights, she's got them. All three of them killing it. New American record for Madeline Scott. And she was suspected to try that squat record. I know a lot of people have been talking about her maybe taking that. So maybe they thought she was going to take it on her third, but she said, you know, I'm taking on my second. No big deal.
She decided to clean up on attempt number 2.
Nice.
I think her best squatting competition was 182.5, what I'm seeing here. So she smoked that by, what is that, 5 kilos?
5 kilos, yeah. Taryn Albright with her third.
150 kilos.
Small 2.5 kilo jump. So if you're watching, you'll see that some lifters will take bigger jumps. The smallest jump that you can make, unless you're breaking a record, is 2.5 kilos. So you have to go up, and Taryn actually went for the smallest jump she could just to secure those extra 2.5 kilos from her second to her third. So I'm happy that she made it. It's always a nice feeling to finish squats going 3 for 3. Soraya, unfortunately, has missed her first 2 on depth, so she's up next. She's getting herself amped up to, I hope that she makes this. Let's keep all of our primetime lifters in the game. Let's see what she can do.
She needs this to stay in the meet.
Yes. Looks deeper. Let's see if the judges give it to her. I hope. Yes. 3 white lights. She's in the meet.
We are in the meet.
Yes. Good job, Soraya. I'm really happy for you. I actually asked on Instagram if anybody had any fun facts, and Soraya actually said she wanted to dedicate her performance today to her grandfather, who was a Persian weightlifter. So
nice.
She's got strength in the family.
Yes.
He's watching down on her, making sure that she's making that third squat, I guess. So congratulations.
Absolutely. We have Rory with 160 kilos for a third attempt, 352 pounds. It's a 10-kilo jump.
There she goes.
Nice finish.
Nice. I'm glad that she could secure those first 2 after missing her first, or those second 2 after missing her first.
Yes, it is always a little bit, I think that's a nod to Rory's experience in powerlifting to miss a lift and then to be able to come back and get the next 2, that takes a little bit of experience on the platform for sure.
Yep. If you've ever competed, you know that you get more and more nervous as you get closer to the first squat. And then after the first squat, especially if you make it, actually only if you make it, you start to get less and less nervous. And as the meet goes, you freak out a little bit less with each lift that you make. So unfortunately, Haley missed her third, but she's still in the game with a final, with her second is 155 kilos. So yeah, those nerves can really add up, especially if you missed that first and kind of start the meet off a little rocky. Because most lifters, the successful lifters, statistically, the more lifts you make, the more successful you'll be.
Absolutely. It's about stacking up attempts. So we have Gina here with 167.5 kilos, 369 pounds. For her final attempt. Nice.
Nice grind there. The thirds are where you get to have some fun as a lifter and the crowd gets to see you grind a little. It might not feel good in the bottom of that hole, but the crowd will cheer for you when you're at the meet, and it makes it a little more fun to watch. When you see a lifter really going for it and, leaving it all on the platform, that's when a meet really becomes like the thing to watch.
The third attempts are what we train for.
Yep.
We have Jordan with 170 kilos, 375 pounds.
There she goes.
Nice.
You'll see some lifters who have one sticking point and they get caught in just like one specific spot in the in the lift, and you actually saw that there with Jordan, and then other lifters who just grind through the entire thing.
Yes.
So you'll start to notice that as you see more and more lifters today, if you're new watching.
We have Ellen with 175 kilos, 385 pounds.
Ellen's been experiencing very few sticking points today, and her first two have looked quite easy. So I'm thinking this will be a confident attempt with just a 5-kilo jump.
Yes. This is a little bit under her best, so she may be conserving a little bit for the other 6 attempts.
Nice.
Obviously very easy for her.
Yep.
Judges, I'm sure, is good lift. 2-1. As Meg was saying earlier, there's three judges. So if we say 2-1, we mean 2 judges say yes and 1 says no, and all you need is 2. Chloe closing out squats with same attempt, 175 kilos, 385 pounds. This is also a little bit under Chloe's best attempt in a meet, 180 kilos, so under by about 5 kilos.
Nice. Her coach back there is freaking out for good reason because she got all 3. Oh, my gosh. I need that guy in my corner when I'm lifting.
So Chloe historically will go 9 for 9.
Yeah?
Chloe typically will make every attempt, which if you've not done a powerlifting meet before, getting all 9 attempts is quite a feat.
Yep. And like I said, usually the lifters who win, the lifters who do well, are the ones who are making their attempts and building their total. Not to say that every powerlifter who wins goes 9 for 9, but statistically that's just what happens.
We have Kristen going 182.5, so 402. This would match her best in a meet.
There she goes.
Looks solid. Let's see what the judges say.
I see 2 reds.
2-1 there.
Yeah, it looked a tiny bit high. Obviously, we're seeing in the live stream only the front view. We can't see what the judges are seeing from the side, which is a better judgment of depth. So maybe they saw something that we didn't. Obviously, on the right side, they did. Unfortunately, she missed that, which is what she had mentioned she wanted to hit, dealing with this injury and having some problems. It makes sense if she's dealing with that piriformis issue, that depth is going to be something that's going to be sacrificed there.
Absolutely. And it certainly didn't look like a strength issue.
No, not at all.
So I have Madeline going for an American record here with 190.5, which
so she was suspected
almost 420 pounds.
Yep.
Here.
She was suspected to break that record. I don't know if she was suspected to hit 190.5. So she's giving everybody a show to start off with squats. Let's see if she can get this one in the bag. I know everyone's rooting for her because breaking a record and adding on to it is definitely an exciting thing to see on Primetime. She buried the depth.
A little bit too much.
And I thought out the hole. She was looking kind of confident, but then she hit that sticking point. Unfortunately, couldn't put it together.
Right. Very solid effort. Way to close out, though, on squats.
So Primetime is interesting because at the rest of the meet here at USAPL Nationals, other sessions have been going all of the lifters in one class during one session. But Primetime gives you the best of the best lifters. Today with the 72-kilo female lifters, and now we have the 93-kilo male lifters. So you're seeing the best of the women, the best of the men, battling it out all in one session. So this is really exciting. We have had the rest of the lifters, there aren't just 10 competing today from each class. We've had the rest of the lifters compete earlier today, so a lot of those scores are recorded. It is possible for some lifters to come from not Primetime and beat some of these Primetime lifters, so they do have the potential to do that, but these are the highest entry totals for this meet. So these are the best of the best. That's not to say that someone can't come up and maybe podium even from another session.
Right. A dark horse, as some might say. So we had Austin was in the meet there with 247.5. We have Sean coming in with 262.5 kilos, 578 pounds.
Jen and I might sound a little raspy because we've probably been screaming at everyone the entire week here at USAPL Raw Nationals. That's what we do while we're here. We just scream at each other, scream after lifts.
Lift is good for Sean. So we have Jonathan opening with a 265 kilo attempt, 585 pounds. Let's just call it that.
So I actually talked to Tina Donishmond. Sorry if I'm saying Tina's last name wrong. Tina Tornado, as she's more commonly known.
Yes.
And she and Joey are handling Jonathan Keiko here. She mentioned that Jonathan has had trouble in the past with depth. He's not the only one in this primetime session who has experienced the same. So hopefully he buries this one, gets himself in the meet, but just keep an eye on his depth and compared to other lifters so that you can see who's getting red lights. Oh, and
Depth
he buried
did not
it.
look like an issue for me there. Let's see
Not
what the
an
judges
issue
say.
at all. And 3 white lights.
All right. So Jonathan finished up there with 265 kilos in the meet.
That's good to see, especially hearing of some of his struggles from one of his coaches. So I'm proud of him, Jonathan Keiko, in the meet. And this is the Titex Primetime, 93 kilo lifters lifting.
We have Kyle here with 270 kilos, 595 pounds, about to crack into the 600s.
Kyle Power. What a name.
Some incredible quads. And a very easy opener.
Easy peasy. Looked like that bar was going to just float off of his back after that one. Okay, so my Instagram name is Meg Squats. I was not born with that name. Was this man born with the name Kyle Power? Because what a coincidence that he ended up lifting in the primetime session of some of the best lifters in the world.
We have LS McLean opening with 275 kilos, 606 pounds.
This man is a fan favorite, and he even has the spotters giving him hugs before he gets on under the bar. He's smiling, he's laughing, enjoying himself.
LS has made the world team as an alternate and went to IPF Worlds and then took gold as an alternate, not once, but twice.
Right. So he has actually won 2 world championships, but has never won a national championship. So that seems pretty damn cool to me. I mean, I'd rather win the world championships, but let's see tonight. I think it's a possibility that LS can finally get his coveted national championships here at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals.
Yes, we have David Wolson opening with 275 kilos, same as LS, is 606 pounds. Pretty wide stance there. Judges
Super
say
wide.
lift is good, so he is in the meet.
Nice. Yeah, you'll see a lot of differences between each lifter depending on their height, their leverages, what they find that works for them. You'll see some lifters will have different stances or different positions based on injuries. You'll notice that even though we're all competing in the squat, bench, and deadlift, some of these lifts will look a lot different from lifter to lifter.
Right.
So if you ever see something weird and you're wondering why no other lifter is doing it,
Just ask why.
yeah, just ask.
Just ask.
It's not a weird thing. Maybe you should or shouldn't do it yourself, but it's always good to ask questions.
We have Matthew for 282.5 kilos, 622 pounds. Lift is good for Matthew.
Nice.
He's in the meet. We have Daniel with 285 kilos, 628 pounds. Crowd is getting a little excited for this lift as we're nearing the end of the flight for squats.
It's always a good sign when people are going nuts for your opener.
Yes.
Nice.
Looked like an opener to me. Judges say good lift. We're in the meet. So we have Dave Ricks going up 2.5 kilos to 287.5.
Dave Ricks is the man.
The man. He is the man.
Fan favorite, as you can hear from the crowd cheering. He's been in the game longer than maybe any one of us here. If you look at his lifter database on the USA Powerlifting Lifter Database website, you can scroll for ages and just continue to see all of his accolades. I have it here, Jen. I mean, I'm scrolling.
It's forever.
Scrolling. It's forever. He has been struggling on depth again, kind of similar to one of our other lifters in this session. So hopefully he can bury this on the first attempt, and then we can have some fun on second and thirds.
Looks good to me on depth. We'll see what the judges say.
Let's give it to him.
Good lift, 2-1.
2 is all we need.
Dave Ricks is here,
In the game.
a.k.a. Superman.
Superman. I think he has been known, at least recently, to miss openers and then just come back and take crazy attempts and
Yes.
take some jumps and crush it, which the man's a pro. I mean, it's not his first rodeo.
It
so
is
he
not.
can kind of take the call. Do what you want.
Yes. We have Ashton squat. Closing out. Are we closing out squats here? Yes. Closing out squats with 292.5, 644 pounds. Wow.
There we go.
That
Looked nice and
Looks like a
smooth.
solid opener. Judges say yes, sir, and we're all in the meet for first squat attempts.
Whew. All in the meat, making it exciting. The anxiety that comes along with missed lifts is definitely there, and it might make it more exciting. But I would rather see everyone just bury the heaviest lifts we've ever seen. Just like, let's get all greens and let's see who's really the strongest.
Yes.
Today, you know?
Yes. Absolutely. We have Austin with 257.5, 567 pounds.
Ooh.
So missed second attempt for Austin.
That was a quick descent on that squat.
And different lifters will have different descent speed. I tend to lean on squat as fast as you comfortably can.
Mm-hmm. And some lifters will squat, can squat the world and have the seemingly slowest descent, where you're just like, how did you even stay under the bar for that long? So every lifter is different, and it all depends on what they're most comfortable with and what has really worked for them.
Absolutely. So we have Jonathan Keiko with 272.5, so 600 pounds. Jonathan setting up the lift there.
There he goes.
Looks like a solid second attempt to me. Judges say the lift is good. We have Sean with 277.5 kilos, 611 pounds. I want to say that Sean last year at Nationals had a great meet up until deadlifts. and was not able to get in a deadlift.
So bombed.
Yes.
So hopefully in primetime tonight, he can put everything together to redeem himself for a 2018 Raw Nationals total.
Lift is good for Sean.
That looks nice and smooth.
They say competing in powerlifting and running your own business is crazy. Yeah. I still do it though.
So we have Kyle here with 285 kilos, 628 pounds. For his second attempt, went up 15 kilos.
Looked like a nice second attempt for Kyle Power. Three white lights for Kyle Power at the Titex Primetime here on Saturday night. We've got the 93 kilo male lifters. And we're on second attempts. This is David Wilson. He's attempting 290 kilos.
Just under, we'll just call it 640 pounds. Super wide stance. We saw that earlier.
There he goes. A little slow, but that makes it more fun to watch.
Absolutely. So
Does he got it?
as we were saying earlier, that first attempt squat, you really just want to get in the meat, you know?
Get in the game. I will say, though, and you, Jen, can probably speak more to this, you'll see primetime lifters, you're shooting for a podium, you're shooting for a win, so you may be making choices that are not the typical choices that other powerlifters may make or other powerlifters are, told to make. So
Sure.
So some people will be shooting for, a big squat and taking their first attempt in something that they know might be a reach, but something that they need to do.
We have Daniel here with 292.5 kilos, 645 pounds. Judges say lift is good. So there's a bit of strategy involved with attempt calling, and definitely if you want to podium, some will make their move on the second attempt and then make a smaller jump from 2 to 3. Some will save it for the third. It's really just about what your strategy is going to be.
Right. Like there we saw Madeline, who got that world record or American record. She took it on her second, and maybe people were suspecting her to take it on the third, but she was strong enough today to take it and then some.
Absolutely. We have LS here with 292.5 kilos, 645 pounds, and a miss there. But he's still in the meet with 2 good attempts.
He looks strong coming out of the hole, so hopefully he has that there.
So LS will take 275 into the total. So the total is the combination of all 3 lifts. So you take the best of each lift that you get, squat, bench, and deadlift, add those up, and that is your total, and that's how you win powerlifting.
Right. It might be nice to win the best deadlift of the meet or win the best squat of the meet, but the real winner is the total winner.
That's right. So we have Matthew here, 295 kilos, 650 pounds. So it looks like Matthew's best squat in competition is 300 kilos.
Wow.
Bit of a grind here.
Ooh.
Wow.
I thought
he was gonna pull that out for a hot second.
I thought he was gonna pull that out for a second there. Now, what's really tough is at times, and I experienced this last night handling a lifter during the primetime session, a lifter who may attempt a really hard squat that might affect their other lifts. So Matthew there, that was a tough lift for him. If he can pull that out, that's great. But going through a grind like that and then maybe another one again for your third, that is going to affect your bench and your deadlift. So that is all a part of the strategy to building the best total. It's not just one lift. It's not just a subtotal. It's all three together is how you podium, how you win, and how you determine who's going to go to world championships. Absolutely.
And it, again, there's a little bit of strategy involved there. Like myself, I'm a strong squatter, which may or may not be beneficial as to people who have a strong deadlift, because that's the last lift of the meet. We have Ashton here with 310 kilos, so 683 pounds.
We're getting mighty close to 700-pound squats, even in the second attempts here.
This is about 7.5 kilos under Ashton's best squat in a meet.
Oh.
And it looks like
that
he
was
is good for a PR.
It's like he unracked it, and it looked heavy on his back, and then he squatted it like it wasn't really a problem.
Listen, the unrack is a bit of a mind game.
I feel like I can tell if it's going to go up after the unrack. If it feels light, I'll start smiling before I even descend. But if it feels heavy, I remember it when I'm in the bottom of that squat.
Absolutely. There's nothing better than a good unrack. Yeah. We have Dave Ricks here with 312.5 kilos, 689 pounds. So Dave Ricks is a Master 2 lifter. So that is in the 50 to 59 age bracket. Also competing in the open. Also holds the world record squat in the open division.
Can see there he's a little shaky, but he's actually talking to his spotter, saying he's got it. Oh, yeah.
There's something special about experience and age. It's, I personally, it's one of my favorite things, seeing older lifters come out and just crush it.
Yep.
Like, experience is a special thing to have in your pocket.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, especially from the past. This is my 4th Nationals in a row, and every year I have had the honor of watching, aside from this one, Jen Thompson just mop the floor with the rest of us until this year.
Right.
So it's finally happened. And I thought on Instagram her post was awesome. And she's such an amazing and humble lifter. She's been doing it so long. She kind of said, this had to happen sometime. But she is like the, powerlifting goals for so many of us.
Absolutely. So we have Austin there with a quick, easy squat of 257.5 kilos. He is good to go for 3 squat attempts.
And it's nice to come back from missing his second squat and then hitting that third. So he's just adding to the total. And that's an okay jump, 10-kilo jump from his first attempt. So he's able to lock that in for the meet.
Absolutely. Again, it's no small feat to come back from a miss and get it. We have Jonathan Keiko here with 277.5 kilos, 611 pounds for squat attempt number 3. Jonathan figuring out the bar position there. As we were saying earlier, a good unrack sets up the entire lift.
You want to make sure that thing's stuck on your back however you best can. Nice.
Lift looks good for Jonathan.
That is a confident third.
3 for 3.
Well, good for him. Like I said, I talked to one of his coaches, Tina Tornado, and she said, he's had trouble on depth before, but it didn't seem to be a problem. Goes back to what you were talking about with experience. Each meet, you're going to keep getting better. So if anybody's watching out there, maybe thinking about their first powerlifting meet or just finished their first powerlifting meet, and maybe you did not go 9 for 9, which is highly likely. It's highly likely you don't go 9 for 9 on your first meet, but there's hope. You can get better. It is possible. Just stick with it.
Absolutely possible. We have Sean Mosher here with 285 kilos, 628 pounds. A little fight here. Not enough. So Sean is still in the meet. He's 2 for 3 on squats. He'll take 277.5 into the total.
And you are watching the USA Powerlifting Raw National Championships. This is the 93-kilo class primetime session on Saturday night. So Saturday night primetime, I mean, I'm sure inside there's as many people as possible. Some competitors have finished. Many competitors are maybe in bed because they got to compete tomorrow. But we're here and there's a big crowd and I can hear the cheers and everybody's cheering Kyle Power on to hit this 290-kilo attempt.
Nice. Ooh. Such a good fight there. Judges say lift is good.
3 white lights on your third.
Love it. So Kyle will take 290 kilos into the total. We have LS coming in with 292.5 kilos, 645 pounds. So LS missed this on his second attempt. So we'll see if he can come back and get this lift here. Oh, no. Quick descent there. Didn't quite have it out of the hole.
Wasn't there. He's used to being the underdog.
Of course.
So let's see what happens for the rest of the meet for him.
So LS will be taking 275 into the total. He's a big bench presser, so it'll be the LS show after squats. We have David Wilson with 292.5 kilos, 645 pounds. Just a small jump here, 2.5 kilos.
There
Bit
he
of
goes.
a fight.
That looks like maybe the perfect third attempt. I know his second, though, looked a little slow even.
Sure.
So it's nice that even though, it was only a small jump, but he's able, that might count as you're getting into placing and the possibility of podiuming, getting on the podium. Every kilo counts. Last night it came down to even a body weight score to determine who won first for the 63 class. So every attempt matters.
Yes. Every kilo matters, sometimes not only on the bar, but also on the body.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have Matthew here, squat number 3, 295 kilos, 650 pounds. Bit of a fight.
Let's see.
He's staying with it, though. That was close.
Jen, anytime I've had a grind, and you saw it on Instagram, the ultimate compliment is when Jen Milliken comments on your Instagram, and you say, way to stick with the lift. So
yes.
What can you tell us about this as we're getting to thirds and some heavy weight?
I think grinding out a lift is a skill. It's a skill you need to I've found a lot of new lifters, the moment it starts to feel heavy, they'll quit. Mm-hmm. And the second you tell them, as soon as you say, don't quit, just stay with it. Just stay with it for a few more seconds, and you'll be surprised. You're totally surprised at what you can grind out.
Let's see if Daniel Libre can do it. Almost 300 kilos here. Mighty deep.
Yep.
There he is. Yes.
See, he felt the grind there for a hot second, and he stayed with it and finished the lift.
When you're nodding yes at the top of your lift, that is the best feeling ever, because you know that people can see on your face that you felt that it was hard, but you were sticking with the lift. So that's awesome. I'm glad for Daniel.
We have Dave Ricks here with 312.5 kilos, 688 pounds. Dave is the owner of the world record squat in the open division.
He's missed his last attempt, so let's see if he can get it back. 312.5 kilos.
I've known Dave to miss an attempt or two and come back and get it.
Yeah, he's a pro. He's a champ.
Well, let's go, Dave. Like a pro.
Like a pro.
Yes, sir. Judges say
No.
2-1. So in the event that you have a lift that is 2-1 as a coach, if you believe it's a good lift, you have the option to go to the jury and contest it.
Right.
So as long as you get one white light, you can go to the jury and you can contest it and say, look, I thought it was good for this reason. And then the jury can overturn that call if they agree with you. Doesn't look like Dave's coaches are going to be contesting that, though. So Daniel with... No, we have Ashton.
This is Ashton. Ashton with the highest squat of this session. He's trying what Dave just tried.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That looked like hard out of the hole, and then he had a little bit to go, a little bit of push there, and then just stopped.
So that closes out our squats for the 93-kilo men at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals.
We've got everyone in the game, right? No bomb outs?
No bomb out. Everybody's here.
Okay, my anxiety has lowered because bombing out in the squat has got to be the worst thing you could do. So we've got no primetime lifters doing that tonight.
Absolutely. Let's talk about 1 second how when squats are over, the entire room has one big exhale.
Yes.
It's
the most nerve-wracking.
Yes.
Because I feel like for squats, it's the start of the meet, so it's already tough.
Yes.
But also, I think for bench and deadlift, you can just grind through them sometimes. And squat is maybe there's a higher margin of error. The calls might be a little more strict, at least compared to deadlift. And yeah, it's just the anxiety, at least as a competitor, is very high.
Absolutely. There's a lot more things you got to worry about with the squat.
And it's hard. I know you're really good at it, though. But it's
super
hard.
stressful. So we are just finished squats for the 72-kilo women and 93-kilo men. And now we will be moving into bench press at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals.
And so if you're watching, you'll notice that some lifters are awesome at the squat. Jen Milliken is one of them. Some lifters are awesome at the bench, and then you'll have lifters who are just crazy good at the deadlift. So like I said, the total is what matters. Unfortunately, unlike weightlifting, we don't give medals for each individual lift. I think that would be pretty cool. What do you think?
They do individual medals at an international level.
Yeah.
They don't do it at the national level, which would probably be cool.
You know, it'd make the awards ceremony quite long, but...
So we have... Ashton is taking a relift here. They took the bar too soon. Is that right?
Ah, I see. So we saw him grind a little bit. Remember, it looked tough out of the hole, and then he was grinding. He looked like quick to get, and he was a little bit side. He was going to the side, so sometimes you'll see some asymmetry with each lifter. So we're getting signaled from our help in the back here, and it looks like maybe the spotters took the lift too early.
Yes.
So
I did actually kind of notice that, and I wondered if they would call it. Again, that's one of those things where your coach would go to the jury and contest it and say that they took it too soon. And in a situation like that, they would go to the end. They would go to the end of the. They would give them another minute or so to retake the lift.
Okay, so a minute or so is not enough time to recover after a grindy squat. I will say that I know. But let's see if he can do it. So he's trying again, 312.5 kilos, which is 688.9 pounds, which is a whole mess of weight. So let's see. Hopefully they'll give him. Do you know how much time they'll actually give him?
I want to say it is 2 or 3 minutes.
It's 4 minutes. So 4 minutes, I don't know about you, Jen, but I could take a solid 10, especially if I was squatting close to my best lift ever.
Listen, if you're training at the Ogre compound, we're talking about like 15 minutes between lifts.
That's what I'm talking about. It's some lifting, a lot of sitting.
Yes.
So, I always try to convince people to powerlift because a lot of times people will be hesitant to the idea because they're like, fitness, I don't like to run. I don't like to do, I'm like, well, you can sit most of the time.
Right.
Especially if you're really strong.
Absolutely. Powerlifting is mostly storytelling. So we have still waiting here for Ashton to retake his third attempt.
So looks like there is 1 minute and 42 seconds on the clock. So if I were him, I'd wait till I had about 20 seconds maybe and let that clock run.
Right. So the lifter can come out at any time. When something like this happens and they get the 4 minutes, the lifter can come out at any time and decide to take the attempt. And like Meg said, when you've had a grind like that, you probably want to take all the minutes.
Yeah. Looks like he's getting focused in the back there. It's nice to have a camera in the back so you can get a little taste of what it's like to be here at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals. You can even see what the crowd can't see as you're tuning into the live stream.
It's a nice little, Meg and I both competed yesterday, so we know what's going on in the back there in that little alleyway. It's a nice little pump-up area, I feel like. Looks like Ashton is thinking about coming out here onto the platform.
You might only see the lifter lifting, but you can see there's plenty of people out there hyping them up, doing the math, making the calls like they did for Ashton here so that he can take this again so that he has an opportunity to get this on the board.
So if Ashton gets this lift here, he will be tied with Dave Ricks in the total so far. Oh, wow.
Well, he took all the minutes.
Judges say no, 2-1.
So it looks like Dave Ricks has his 312.5 scored. And was that the one that the judges gave him red lights on, though?
No,
his last attempts?
Dave Ricks is good for 312.5.
Okay.
So he missed it. Dave missed it on a second, came back and got it on the third. Right. Ashton missed that here for technically a fourth attempt, which is also will, that's going to come into play for the rest of the meet.
Mm-hmm. So now he's, unlike all the other lifters, he's had 4 squats, which 3 alone will do you in. I did 3 myself yesterday, and I feel like I need a hip replacement.
Right.
I don't know about you, but 4, now that's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's
one more than everyone else.
So it's nice to have that extra attempt, especially if you can, lock it in. But unfortunately, not today for Ashton.
So we have spotters and loaders setting up for bench.
say competing in powerlifting and running your own business is crazy. Yeah. I still do it though.
All right, everybody. We are back for the Titex Primetime Saturday night at USA Powerlifting World Nationals. If you're seeing this crazy-looking man, you have obviously never been to a big powerlifting meet. This is Gino. Everybody, welcome to USA Powerlifting. This man is it for us.
Gino is quite a treat.
He is a treat. He's getting the crowd hype. He commentates, I think, every meet I've been to. He's been there.
Gino is traveling an excessive amount of travel to announce at powerlifting meets.
When
you
does
have
he
to
sleep?
give it to him. I don't think he does. He may be a vampire. I'm not sure. They say he's a pirate, but I know vampires don't sleep, so he might actually be a vampire.
I believe it.
We have Ellen here opening bench attempts for the 72-kilo women at 65 kilos. Ellen went 3 for 3 in the squat, ended with a 175-kilo squat, about 385 pounds. A very easy opener for Ellen.
Oh. So we've got some volunteer loaders. Usually our loaders and spotters are all volunteer-based. So thanks to all the loaders and spotters because it's a tough job. It's not easy. There's a particular way to load the plates, and if you watch that small little detail there, you actually place the first plate in powerlifting and in weightlifting. You place the first plate facing inwards, and that's, I believe, so that the judges can see exactly what is on the bar. So the first plate goes inwards, so we can see the number of how much is loaded, and then all the plates after the first one are facing outward.
Yes, that's correct. That was a good lift for Haley. Opening attempt at 80 kilos, 176 pounds. Wade Johnson is if you train at our gym, you must load all plates correctly all the times.
I love it. I love it just so that I can be an elitist powerlifting snob. So that I can teach all my bro friends at the gym who don't powerlift how to truly load a plate.
Yes, we have Madeline Scott here opening at 85 kilos, 187 pounds. I believe Madeline finished out squats, the heaviest squat at 188.5 kilos, an American record. And a very easy opener for Madeline.
So on the bench press, the lifter will get a few commands. If you're watching this and you have never competed, they're kind of tricky with the bench press.
Bench is a moody little lift.
It's a finicky little friend. You've got to, first of all, you can see Sarai here. She's telling her lifter offer, her person who's giving her the lift off. She's telling him exactly how she wants it so that she's getting the barbell in a comfortable place as she has all the weight in her hands. So she has to wait for the start command. And then whenever she gets that start command, which she didn't get, so she has to figure out now what the judge needs to see from her.
So she may not be getting that start command for a few reasons, like her booty may not be down completely on the bench, her feet may not be completely flat, or her elbows may not be completely locked. Those are all the reasons that we need to get the start command. Looks like she was able to get it in there.
And I'm glad she was able to, because whenever you don't get the start command and you've got a re-rack, I know because it happened on my third bench, it's kind of it's a mind freak, if you will. I'll try to avoid from cursing on this live stream tonight. If I'll do anything, that'll be it. So it'll kind of screw with you if you don't get the start command right away because you've got, your opener in your hands and you're waiting for the start command and you don't get it. So you've got to unrack and then figure out what they need from you, adjust, and then start all over.
And you're on the clock. So you have 1 minute to get that start command. If you don't get that start command within the 1 minute, then you time out. So we have Gina here looking for the start command with 92.5 kilos, 203 pounds. Looked like a solid opener to me. Judges say, good lift.
Opener's looking good as we're getting into the 200-pound range. Was always exciting.
So we have Jordan coming in with 97.5 kilos, 215 pounds.
So you've got to not only wait for the start command. When you get the start command, then you've got to start. So you start benching and you lower the bench press and you descend to make contact with your chest. And then you wait for what seems like forever for your head judge to say press. Jordan gets the press command, easy press for her, and then rack.
Yes.
So you've got 3 commands, and you've got to wait to hear all of them. You've got to stay really patient, and you've got to be strong in that bench press. It's not just a, gym bro touch and go where you can just rep it out. You've got to stay patient and, confident with holding that bar in your hands for a long period of time.
Right. And, I would suggest as a lifter, practice all commands in training all the time. When I'm doing, if I'm doing a pause bench press, I'm doing all the commands. I'm doing start, press, rack all the time, just so it becomes second nature to me. We have Kristen opening with 100 kilos, 220 pounds. Looked easy enough. It's a good lift for Kristen. She closed out squats with 175 kilos. So we have Chloe here opening with 105 kilos. She is our leading, I believe she's leading as of now, leading going into bench.
So Chloe Dublin, she is our sub-junior world champion.
Yes. Wow.
That's a confident first.
Yes, ma'am. And Chloe's quite young. She is, I want to say 18 or 19, just recently graduated.
18?
Recently graduated high school. Is on a scholarship to Midland, as we talked about earlier.
Okay, so any girls who are watching, I hope you're up late at night on the East Coast even, watching powerlifting on a Saturday night, because who doesn't want to do that? If you're maybe 14-year-old girl or 15-year-old girl in high school and maybe not, it's hard to find other powerlifters if you're in a place where you don't have a barbell club around you, or you're in high school and everyone else is, playing basketball, playing softball, doing other sports, and maybe you're listening to this and you're interested even a little bit in powerlifting. Just know that there is another girl just like you who's doing the same thing and wants the same thing as you. And we're out there. We might only see each other sometimes at USA Powerlifting World Nationals, but we're here. And, this sport really does bring women all over the world, men all over the world, brings them together. And we just lift because we want to get strong.
Absolutely.
Because it's fun.
It is so fun.
Who doesn't want to have a 112.5 kilo bench press opener like Taryn Albright?
Yes. And we just had Rory, who's a big bench presser. She also opened with 112.5. Very simple opener. I was very impressed. And as Meg said, we have Taryn now with 112.5, also same opener.
Taryn Albright is coming up from the 63 kilo class. This is her kind of 72 kilo primetime debut. And Taryn also has a big bench. So Taryn, she told me this fact about herself. She has a 4'11" wingspan.
Wow.
It's 6 inches.
That's almost as tall as me.
Yeah. It's 6 inches under her height. Under her height? Yeah. So very short wingspan. It will come in handy for the bench press.
Absolutely.
Not so much for the deadlift.
So powerlifting is a sport of lifting as much as you can one time. So you will see some powerlifters getting into an arch in the bench press, which reduces the range of motion, also protects the shoulders a little bit. But this is, like I said, this is a sport of lifting as much as you can, and that means by any means necessary, which oftentimes Like I said, you will see powerlifters getting to the arch just to get the best leverage.
And Taryn, she's got a nice arch on her.
She does.
She's pretty flexible, so she can get in a, an advantageous position to where her range of motion is decreased, and she really is taking advantage of what her body can do. Obviously, she's extremely strong, and there's no questioning that. But it really is a game of who can lift the most weight. If you are abiding by the rules and if you are getting in positions that the judges are giving you commands properly and you're not breaking any rules, then
it's game on.
It's game on. Fair is fair. The rules are there. So just follow them however you best can. And, you can hit a big lift if you can get in a nice arch and combine it with some huge strength.
Yes. So we had Ellen there that just took her second attempt bench at 70 kilos. Very, very easy. You may have noticed a slight range of motion difference from Taryn to Ellen.
I'd say so.
Haley here with 82.5, so 181 pounds. Easy enough second attempt.
But you know what? When you see the scorecard at the end of the day and when you see the nice pictures of the podium, it don't matter whose range of motion was what.
It doesn't.
It really doesn't matter. Taller lifters may complain about being tall. Shorter lifters may complain about having short arms. But you know what? The kilos are there, and they're kind of set in stone. So whoever lifts the most wins at the end of the day. So sounds pretty cut and dry to me.
Yes. We have Madeline Scott here with 87.5 kilos, 192 pounds. Her second attempt, not quite there. Looked like she touched her back when she got up and may have cramped up a little bit. I know that I've personally hit a heavy bench press and my erectors will cramp up. It's like the first thing to go.
Mm-hmm. And that's something you want to keep in mind, especially for the deadlift. Like if you're cramping in your back for bench, then that's not going to put you in a great position to get ready to really use your back for your deadlift. So it's something you want to keep at the top of your mind, because most of our lifters will get more kilos on that deadlift. So whatever you can do to build the biggest total.
We have 92.5 kilos on the bar here.
I'm glad to see Soraya getting her second. It looked like maybe she had a little bit of difficulty with the call there. Of course, before she had problems with her squat depth in the squat.
Oh, yeah.
So she's having a little bit of a struggle, but so far so good on her bench presses. So hopefully she can continue to build her total and really come through with the deadlift.
So we have Gina Hensley with 97.5 kilos, 215 pounds. Gina finished squats with 167.5 kilos. I want to say that's 369 pounds.
Girl, I need a calculator to convert kilos to pounds. It's just a matter of fact.
Little fight here for Gina. She's able to finish it. Judges say lift is good.
So I will say, if you're watching the live stream, I can guarantee you have a better seat, at least for the bench press, than anyone watching here at USA Powerlifting World Nationals. It is tough to watch the bench press when you're in the audience, but since you're watching on the live stream, you can really get better views. You get a front row seat to exactly how the lifters are moving, exactly like immediately what the judges are calling, and you can kind of get a better perspective on really what's going on.
So we have Jordan here with 100 kilos, 220 pounds. Second attempt. Judges say lift is good.
This is actually moving very fast.
Bench typically goes quickly.
Yeah, this pace seems a lot more quick than the squats, maybe because the loaders don't have to change as many. The number is a little bit lower. They don't have to stack as many plates as they do in the squat or deadlift, so things are moving quickly. that's something that our 93 kilo lifters want to keep in mind as they're in the warm-up room getting ready to show up next.
Absolutely. We have Kristen here with 105 kilos, 231 pounds. I know I've seen her hit this a few times in competition and in training.
And that looked easy peasy.
Kristen also, this is her first nationals as a 72 kilo lifter. Last year she was a 63,
And so
a little bit of weight gain is always good for the bench
I was going to
press.
say you might be an expert on that one.
We got Chloe again. So she's a young lifter with nearly 250 pounds in her hands. So
no
impressive.
big deal. No big deal. That's a huge amount of weight to hold over your face.
So
And
easy.
It doesn't look like a problem for her.
Good lift for Chloe. So that's going to put Chloe definitely in the top 3, if not the top. So I have Rory, who is sort of our veteran 72 kilo lifter for tonight with 117.5 kilos. We know Rory is a good bencher. So about 259 pounds here for a second attempt. A little bit of a fight there, but she's able to push through that. Judges
Still looks
say,
confident.
yeah. 2-1 there.
And Rory was actually at my very first meet. I did the 214 American Open USA powerlifting competition, and I podium as a 75 kilo lifter because that was when the weight classes were slightly different. I was 4th place, and my girl Rory Alter took the gold, obviously.
Nice.
So, I had a little flashback moment because I was lifting yesterday with another training partner who was also at that meet. So it's always nice to come back to big competitions and see all of your friends and, reflect on weight classes of the past, which you may do.
Absolutely.
So next we've got Taryn Albright. She's benching 117.5 kilos.
She is who we were discussing with the range of motion. This beautiful, beautiful range of motion here. So she did not get a start command there.
So I will say it's tough when you have Taryn has a very wide grip width, and she has that very exaggerated arch so that she can get the most out of her bench. Got the start command there. A little bit of a grind, but lock those elbows out, and it looks like it might be good. Whew.
Which is good.
She's got the crowd behind her because I think everyone in the audience might be powerlifters themselves, and they know what it feels like to maybe be waiting on a call and maybe not hear it and need to hear it.
Yes. So now Ellen is going to lead us off with bench attempts number 3. So final attempts for bench here with Ellen, 75 kilos. Ellen is a strong squatter. I believe she has an incredible deadlift also. And as we've said a few times, this is about building a total here. Ellen looks good for 3 bench attempts. So Ellen is going to be 6 for 6 going into deadlifts.
That's a nice, confident place to be where your meat is kind of moving and your momentum and you're feeling confident. And hopefully if you've gone 6 for 6, maybe that's where you can kind of talk to your coach and say, hey, we're sort of doing it. Maybe we can go for a reach for the dead.
Yeah. It's definitely 6 for 6 is a nice place to be. So we have Haley here, bench attempt 3 with 85 kilos, 187 pounds. Nice little grind there.
Nice grind. And it looked like she might have hit the rack a bit on that left side, on the left side that we're looking at on the screen, do you think that she did there?
I didn't see it.
It was hard to see from that angle, but I saw just a little bit of a hook there. And that's something where it can happen, but you're not eliminated from, stopping the bench. It's not over. If you can continue to push through and keep pushing through and still wait for that rack command, you're going to be fine. So if you ever run into the rack, it's definitely not ideal, but you can keep pushing through that
Always
lift.
finish the lift.
Yep.
No matter what. Wade, my coach Wade Johnson says, let the judges judge.
Yeah.
You finish the lift and let the judges judge.
And if you celebrate a little, they might think that you got it, and maybe you'll convince them.
That's right. ABS, always be selling. We have Madeline here with 87.5. I believe she closed out her squats here with the heaviest squat.
Whoa.
What? That looks much more like an opener and less like a third attempt.
Did the loaders take it from her and we didn't see? What the heck?
Was that a misload or no?
What happened? That was the fastest third bench, I think, that has ever been done in a primetime session.
It looks like she did. So she missed that for a second and came back and got it for a third. So that was a repeat attempt. And sometimes you need to do that to play it safe.
Yeah.
So we have Soraya here with 95 kilos, 209 pounds. Soraya made a 2.5 kilo jump.
There she goes.
Looks good for 3.
There she goes. Very good to see. It's hard to start a meet off. So she started the meet off with 2 missed squats. That is a tough place to be in. So I'm hoping that now that she's made her 3 bench press attempts, she's getting some more confidence so that she can hit us with a big deadlift.
Absolutely. And you had mentioned earlier about building momentum. And I do feel like momentum is your best friend when it comes to a powerlifting meet or a training cycle in general.
I agree. I say happy is strong. If you can be happy when you're on the platform, if you can smile a little, you might notice the lifters who are smiling are usually the lifters who are making lifts.
That's right.
So if you can, intensity is important. And I get a little angry. I might do a little stomp on a bug and then lift the barbell. But when you're having a good time back there and you're still focused and able to manage those feelings to where you're not freaking yourself out and enjoying it a little bit. You don't want to be lackadaisical and like thinking it's a walk in the park. But a happy lifter is a good lifter. At least I think.
I believe that.
And this is coming from Jen Milliken. I don't know if you've ever seen her lift, but she's pretty intense on the platform.
I'm pretty serious, but I'm not that serious.
Okay. Well, you looked pretty happy yesterday at the end of the day. So
yes.
And you're used to winning gold.
Yeah.
That's your norm. Is the gold medal.
Yes. And I took a bronze. Well, that's cool. We have a Jordan here with 102.5 kilos, 225 pounds. Well, some may say 226.
I would say round up.
If you're in the pound land, we call this 2 plates.
Nice. 2 plates is always big, no matter where you're from.
Yes. It's a good lift for Jordan. She is also closing out squats, going 6 for 6 into deads. Always a plus. We got Kristen Dunsmore here, coached by Chad Wesley Smith.
A little powerlifting legend there. No big deal.
No big deal.
It's always nice to have a legend in your corner.
Kristen with 110 kilos, 242 pounds. A little bit of a fight here.
Here we go.
Love it.
Whew. That's got to be a good feeling when you get through that grind and then you get 3 white lights like Kristen just did. All right. Now, you know the feeling when you hit the 3 squats and then you're done. But when you hit the 3 benches and then you're on to deadlifts, for me, that's when it really gets fun.
That's the money.
That's when it's like, nothing but brute strength involved in the rest of these 3 lifts.
We got Chloe here, speaking of momentum, with 117.5 kilos.
She's 5 for 6 so far, so let's see if she can get all greens on our board here.
Oh, wow.
Spoke too soon. Sorry, Chloe. You can blame it on Meg squats that you missed your 117.5. I jinxed you. I'm sorry.
So she took a healthy jump there.
Yeah, 5 kilo jump, not bad.
5 kilos, yeah. Typical jump on the female side of things, I would say,
Hold on. I want to hear what Jen Milliken says is a typical jump. And then me, Meg Squats, not primetime lifter, I'll let you know what actually is a typical jump.
I would say 2.5 kilos.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Now, you get some time under your belt. You can creep that on up to maybe 5 to 7.5 kilos, but 5 kilos is a healthy jump, I'd say. Rory here with 120 kilos.
That was a nice grind.
That's
She's looking happy leaving, closing out bench there. So that's good to see because I know, Rory mentioned that she's dealing with that hip fracture injury. Hopefully she's not seeing it too much on her bench, even though the bench press, you are doing a bit of leg drive. So it is a full body movement. Obviously, upper body strength is essential here. But you are pushing through with those legs, especially at USA Powerlifting. We're required to keep our entire foot on the ground. So those lifters have to keep planted and keep pressing through the ground so that they can, maximize the amount of weight that they can do for this bench press. So let's see what Taryn Albright can do here with 120 kilos.
Now, in the gym, I would call that 2 reds, which is a huge feat. A little bit too much for Taryn. But they use collars in the meet, which the collars are what they use to hold the weights in. 2.5 kilos there for each.
So you mean to tell me that your coach Wade, he's making you competition load? But you're not, I'm doing air bunny quotes for everyone out there listening. You're not competition loading? No collars?
We bring in the collars about like the last 3 weeks of training.
All right, I like that. So you can get the 2 reds and celebrate. I don't mind it. Well, Daniel Libre starting us off with the quickest opener maybe today.
Yes. We are now, Daniel, leading us into 93 kilo men for USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals.
The crowd here at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals is crazy. First of all, if you ever come here, everyone's jacked out of their minds. So, they're having fun. And then these lifters finish lifting, and it's time to party at the hotel bar. So if you haven't come to spectate or compete yourself, you got to do it. It's time to get your qualifying total in and sign up for USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals next year. It's going to be in Chicago next year, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, kids, get your totals ready. Time to qualify. Let's go.
It is, if you are a powerlifter, USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals is the meet to be at.
I 100% agree, especially ever since we've had the opportunity to have this primetime slot because, I've got to say, the best spectators, I know because I'm one of them, are the lifters who have already competed. One, because they're celebrating with beers at the hotel bar, so they're a little bit rowdy in the crowd, but then they get to spend, the same day they're competing, they get to watch the best of the best lifters. Sometimes you get to meet, your favorite powerlifter and have a beer with them at the hotel bar.
Absolutely.
That's the 3rd time I've mentioned the hotel bar. Have I told you guys that that's a big part of being here? It really is a fun day, especially after you get to lift. And you get to watch, the primetime session, which brings out the best of the best. And it's all just an awesome time.
So we had Matthew there with 175 kilos. He went 3 for 3 in the. No, he didn't. I'm sorry. He got his opening attempt in the squat and opening attempt in the bench. So he's good to go.
There you go. So hopefully he'll go 3 for 3 in his bench and get that momentum that we've been talking about going. This is David Wilson, 175 kilos for his first attempt.
$175 is also the 57 kilo squat record, BTW.
That's pretty amazing.
385 pounds for David. He's in the meet with bench. We have Ashton opening with 180 kilos, 396 pounds. Gino getting fired up. So we were talking a little bit about the squat and how there's a lot of technical things there, but the bench is also nothing to sneeze at.
You know, I got to tell you, Jennifer Thompson might be disappointed in this, but it's my least favorite lift.
Man.
At least in competition. Training, love it. But competition, it's just a tough one.
It is tough. As I think we mentioned before, it's a bit moody.
Yeah. I can't wait for the deadlifts because bench is nothing to ignore, of course. Who doesn't want a big bench?
Yes, how much you bench.
But deadlift is where things get interesting in the competition and also where, people just go for it. So we'll see much more grinders, I think, which is where things get fun.
Absolutely. We got Dave Ricks here with 185 kilo bench attempt, 407 pounds. Dave finished the squats with the heaviest squat.
So it looks like the judges are being quite strict before that start command, making sure that the lifter is in perfect position.
So what happens with the judging and the bench, you have 2 side judges and 1 head judge, and all the judges have to give their start command. Mm-hmm. They all, each judge has to decide that the lifter is in the correct position to start the bench press.
Right.
And as long as 2 of the 3 judges say he's good to go, then the head referee has to call start. So it seems like Dave did not get the start command there.
You've got to impress not 1, not 2, but 3 of the judges and make, signal to them that you are ready for that start command. And if you're not, then they're not going to give it to you. And those judges aren't messing around today, especially because a lot of people are watching and tuning into this primetime session, and they're going to hold you to the highest standard.
Easy enough opener for Austin at 190 kilos, 418 pounds. One of the other things about the judges here at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals is that the judges here they're national judges, so they have to meet a certain criteria to judge at this meet. So it's not as if you get to just show up, and we're all very grateful for all the volunteers because they're all volunteers here. But you do have to meet a certain criteria to be judging here.
Right. So though, that your judges are going to be, fair, but also strict so that whoever we do end up as a country sending to IPF Worlds, that is the lifter who is held to the ultimate standard that gets to represent our country in, the ultimate competition.
Absolutely. Sean Mosier, 192.5 kilos, 424 pounds. Good for that bench opener. And honestly, as we were saying, you have lifters here who may be chipping records. Mm-hmm. And it's always nice knowing if you're going to set a record that, the judges that are judging you are holding you to a high standard.
Yeah.
You don't want to set a record and then it come up later that it wasn't a good lift.
Yep. And you
the,
don't
in the
want,
almighty internet world.
Exactly. And how would it feel, too, if you had a record and someone took it and you knew that they weren't being held to the ultimate standard? So we appreciate all of the USA Powerlifting judges. And sometimes you might get a little sad that they're not giving you that start command, but it is their job to make sure that everyone is, held to the standard that is required.
Absolutely. We have Jonathan Keiko here with 200 kilos, 440 pounds.
Jonathan Keiko, known for a big bench, so it's pretty interesting to see a 200-kilo opener. He looked a little shaky there through the rep, but pretty fast.
Looks like his best in competition is 210, so
oh, wow.
It seems like he's setting himself up well for a PR here.
Yeah.
PR as in personal record.
And personal records, we haven't really touched on that. We've been talking about placing, and that's something that we are focused on in these primetime sessions. But most lifters that come to USA Powerlifting World Nationals are here to do their very best. For me, I'll tell you, I finished 14th out of all the lifters in the 63 kilo class. And there were a lot
of lifters.
But 14th is fine. But I'm most concerned with the lifts that I'm hitting. So if you can come and hit a personal record at nationals and hit it on a national stage, that's going to be a good day for you. LS McLean with 205 kilos for his first attempt.
So LS is currently ranked number 2 in the bench press in USA Powerlifting with 230 kilos. So we'll see what kind of jump he makes from 1 to 2. See where he, we were talking a little bit earlier about strategies as far as making jumps. Some lifters will take a huge jump from 1 to 2. Some will keep it more steady throughout, and we'll see what LS brings on the second. We have Daniel here with 167.5 kilos, 369 pounds.
And now we're on the second attempts for bench press. Things might start moving a little bit slower.
Looked easy enough for Daniel.
Yeah, looks like a confident second attempt.
Daniel's looking quite lean for...
Yeah, he's jacked.
Yeah.
There's no denying that.
Obviously, this is a weight category sport. Mm-hmm. So some lifter, again, it's another part of the strategy. You may be dropping a few pounds to make weight, to be more competitive. Or you may be moving up to be more competitive.
I think maybe Daniel dropped a few pounds to fit into this 93-kilo class. What do you think?
I think he did. And, that could be a strategic move.
Well, Daniel's going 6 for 6, or 5 for 5, actually, so far. So hopefully he can keep that streak going.
We got Kyle here with 177.5 kilos, 391 pounds.
And that's a powerful bench, a powerful second attempt. 3 white lights.
We have David up next with 182.5, 402. David went 3 for 3 in the squat. Made a good opening attempt, so hopefully he keeps it rolling here.
I think of David in this entire class, he might have the longest limbs of any lifter that we've seen so far.
He might.
He's got some long arms. He's got some long legs.
I want to say David is a contender to win.
We're getting some nods here in the back.
I think I said earlier that I commentated this session last year, and I remember David, he was poised to take it, mm-hmm. but unfortunately had a little bit of trouble. I think, I might be wrong. I'm so sorry if I'm wrong. But I think he had a little bit of trouble with his deads last year.
Well, right now, David Wilson is on a tear. He's 5 for 5, and of course we want to keep seeing greens over on our side here. Let's see if David Ricks can get this 185-kilo bench press. He missed his last attempt, so let's get the second and third, Dave.
So Dave, as I was saying earlier, is also a masters lifter and an open world champion several times over. His bench looked good there.
2 white lights is all he needs for a good lift.
Dave has also been volunteering for several sessions reffing, so he's a big player in the sport. You know, he's here. He's not only lifting, but he goes to international comps, and he shows up here and refs and gives his time. So we're always grateful for people like Dave Ricks.
It's nice to go into equipment check, and Dave Ricks is telling you what you can and can't have on the platform. That's a pretty cool feeling.
We got Matthew here with a little bit of a grinder, 185 kilos, 407 pounds, a little bit too much.
Hopefully he can come for his third and make that attempt.
That's a healthy jump, too, from 175 to 185, from 1 to 2. We got Ashton with 187.5, 413 pounds. So Ashton was only able to get his opening squat attempt. He came back and did that fourth squat. So we'll see how that is affecting the rest of his meet here. He was good for the opener. Took it a 7.5 kilo jump. Looked easy enough.
Looking like that fourth squat doesn't really matter in the bench press.
It doesn't. And actually, his subtotal's still very much a contender there to podium.
Austin Schrader coming up next, 200 kilos for an American record attempt.
So 200 kilos, which is a straight load. We mentioned earlier that if you are attempting a record, you do have the advantage to take a chip. So the normal jump is a 2.5 kilo jump. If you are taking a record attempt, you can do a chip, which is a 5.5 kilo jump. Is that right?
Correct, 0.5 kilo. So hopefully he makes this.
A bit of a grind right there. That is a typical sticking point on the bench. You'll see a lot of lifters stick at the same spots over and over again. And, you know, sometimes people ask me, like, what do you do to get through your sticking point at the squat? And I'll say something like, you just keep lifting.
You keep getting stronger is the simple answer.
Yes. We all, the vast majority of us are all going to stick at the same place, and you just, keep grinding.
Yep. When you have a lifter who is having a struggle, it's like usually the answer is be stronger.
Yes.
Simple.
Sean here with an easy 200 kilo attempt, 440 pounds. Judges say good lift, right?
Yeah, 3 white lights there. Next, we have Jonathan Keiko, 210 kilos, which I think you said is his current meet PR. Is that right?
That's right.
So let's see if Jonathan Keiko can match his current meet PR, which is a nice feeling to match your current meet PR on the second attempt. So you lock that in, maybe setting yourself up for a total PR. You lock that in, and then you have a third attempt to get a little bit more. It might be 2.5 kilos. It might be a bigger jump. Let's see how this moves for Jonathan Keiko.
Jonathan Keiko so far has had a strong meet, going 3 for 3 in the squat. Solid opener, so hopefully he keeps it rolling. And he sure did.
Oh, it looks like he might take a little bit more than a 2.5 kilo jump. So they got 1 red there for a good lift.
All we need is 2 white lights.
That's all you need.
All you need is 2.
I'll take it.
I don't even care what the third one was for.
I agree. Sometimes I'll ask so that I do it again.
Right. If you have another attempt, maybe find out what the reason you got that red for, just in case. But all you need is 2. We have LS is going to close out our second attempt bench.
LS giving all the spotters and loaders some love.
with 217.5 kilos, so 479 pounds, creeping on 480. Looks like LS's best bench is 230 kilos.
Big bench.
Looks simple.
Looks smooth.
Look fairly simple. A little bit of the bar speed slowed down a tad there, so we'll see if he's going to attempt a PR for the third.
He seems unbothered by that movement, any bit of slowness.
Yes.
I told you happy is strong, and he's coming out giving everybody daps,
LS
giving everybody love.
He's a very happy man.
Yeah. I think the theory is correct.
Yes.
Daniel Libre starting off the thirds for 172.5 kilos. Let's see if he can go 6 for 6 and take that momentum right into deadlifts. Crowd going crazy for Daniel. Unfortunately, missed attempt there for Daniel Libre. His first missed attempt in the entire meet. So it's a miss on your third for something that was tough, and especially to have it be a strength miss, not a technical miss, is still not a bad place to be in.
It didn't look like a bad call.
No,
you know,
I agree.
It looked like it was right there. We got Kyle here with 182.5, so 402 pounds. We're breaking into the 400-pound range over your face. No big deal.
There you go. Good thing we got those spotters and loaders.
Yes. Also,
keeping everyone safe.
Also volunteering. Big shout out to everyone here at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals. All the volunteering, it wouldn't be happening without everyone. So you'll notice some lifters will take a handoff. Bit of a grind here for Kyle. Not quite enough. Looked like to me he may have misgrooved that.
Mm-hmm.
He may be... No, he can't come back and get it. But it did look like a little bit of a misgroove.
Right.
You know, if he had maybe hit the groove a little bit better, he probably could have pushed that out. But
and that happens most often, I would say, on the bench press, where you have, still a small margin of error in that range of motion because it is a shorter range of motion than any of the other lifts. So you kind of got to hit that groove so that you are maximizing your strength potential.
Absolutely. Bar path is an important factor in the bench press.
Yep, that is the factor. This is Matthew for 105 kilos.
A little bit there. And again, I mean, obviously I'm a lifter, so I'm paying attention to something like the bar path. But when you start to look at something like that, you can see it. We have David here with 185 kilos, 407 pounds. David looking to close out bench here with a 6 for 6 meet so far.
I think he might be our only lifter in contention for 6 for 6.
You're right. On the male side.
We've got to get one to get 9 for 9. And maybe the one who gets 9 for 9 might be the one that wins. I don't know. We'll see. Doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
Whew. And he made the right call. Maybe he had a few more kilos in him, but he's getting all his lifts.
He made all the lifts. We had a couple of lifters there who made the same call, didn't quite make it. So that is putting David in second place as of now.
Nice place to be, knowing that you have the momentum on your side, you're making lifts, and you're feeling good. Because even just, it's nice to know that you're having a good day.
Right.
Things are on.
It's always a good day to have a good day.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Next up, we have Ashton Ruska. He's benching for his third attempt, 192.5 kilos. That looks like an easy attempt for him.
He
looks happy. Team is smiling. Hugs all around.
you know, powerlifting is an individual sport.
You only see one person on the platform.
Only one person can do the lifts. However, there is so many other people that come into play to make those lifts happen. We have Austin here going for an American record attempt at 200 kilos. So he missed this on his second. So we will be rooting for Austin to make it on the third. We've said before, it's no easy attempt, no easy feat to come back and get a lift after a miss. Does he have blocks under his feet? You may have seen the spotters adjusting those blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of a fight. Not quite there.
So on the bench press, you saw there Austin Schrader, and you might be seeing the judges will call whether or not it's time to take the lift from the lifter, just to keep them safe. So if there's any downward movement in that bench press, then it is a no lift, and the judges will call it. So, yeah, unfortunately, even if you're able to grind through some downward movement and the judges see it, you still will get called for a no lift. But those loaders and spotters are there to make sure that everyone's safe, and when it's not going up anymore, the lift is over.
That's right. We got Dave Ricks here with 205 kilos, 451 pounds. So I'm thinking Austin must have been that must have been a division record.
Yeah. So either a junior or sub-junior teen. Oh, wow. We've got a teen lifter shooting for a teen record there. So hopefully next meet he can go and snag that one.
Dave Ricks re-racking, waiting. Something must have been off there, or he didn't get the start command right away. Dave Ricks, also a great bencher. This is a bit under his best in competition. Not quite there today. So Dave going into deads with a 497.5 subtotal.
Next, we have Sean Mosier for his third bench, 205 kilos, 451.9. Let's call it 452 pounds. Ooh, smooth third. This is the Titex Primetime on Saturday night. You're watching the 93-kilo class.
Closing out. Getting close to the end of bench attempts here. Third bench attempts leading into deads. After these final bench attempts, we'll be having the 72-kilo women starting off deadlifts. Some might say that the meet doesn't start till the bar hits the floor.
Well, I agree. My favorite lift.
We got Jonathan Keiko here with 215 kilos, let's call it 474 pounds.
So he's taking a 5-kilo jump to try and add to his best ever, which he hit last time is 210 kilos, which is what he has right now. So let's see if he can add 5 more kilos. It looked like a fast second attempt. So hopefully he's got this one in the bag.
Third bench attempt is always a bit nerve-wracking. Not for Jonathan Keiko.
There he goes.
Judges, 3 white lights.
I bet he's pretty pumped because it seems like his bench might be his favorite lift.
So that gives Jonathan a 492.5 kilo subtotal going into deads. We got LS coming with 222.5 kilos, 490 pounds. LS is quite the bencher. This is a little bit under his best, so we'll see what he can manage here for a third attempt. That's good enough.
Looking confident for a third.
Judges say good lift. So
Posing for a picture.
Of course. For the gram.
You gotta get it for the gram.
Do it for the gram.
If anyone knows this, it's me.
So, you may, as if you're a new lifter, you may have the idea that every time you compete, your lift might get better.
I would hope.
Yes, that's the idea. But sometimes progress isn't quite linear.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it might take a dip there, which is totally normal.
Yeah.
And the longer you're lifting, the longer you're in the game, the longer the line starts getting a little bit straighter.
Yep.
The dips start.
I'm experiencing that myself.
Yes.
The PRs are becoming fewer and fewer.
They say competing in powerlifting and running your own business is crazy. Yeah. I still do it though.
Hi, welcome back. Just going to give a quick update here on subtotals, what's going on with the meet here. How you doing?
I'm good. You look quite different, Meg.
I look a little bit different. Change up
bit,
quick. All right,
yeah.
so just want to kind of go over this and go where we are right now. After subtotals, which is the combination of the squat and the bench.
Right.
All right, we have Chloe Dublin in the 72s at 292.5 kilo total, right? Kind of expected. 180 squat and a 112.5 bench. She's projected now in first place after deadlift openers at 482 kilos. All right, Kristen Dunsmore right now at subtotals in second with 285 kilos, and via 175 squat and a 110 bench, she's projected out after openers at 475. In third place after the subtotals, Jordan Davis is at 272.5.
Perfect. And those subtotals are you including the deadlift opener?
The subtotal does not include the deadlift opener,
Okay, gotcha.
only the projected, only the forecasted total.
Okay.
All right, so in third right now, we show Madeline Scott at projected total of 46.8. I'm sorry, 468.5. Right behind her is Rory Alter at 467.5.
Nice.
So that's going to be a heck of a battle right there between Rory, Madeline Scott, and Kristen Dunsmore there.
Right.
So is that kind of the way you expected it to play out?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So the men now, it's been a little bit of an upset right now. So right now, in the lead at the subtotal is Charlie Dixon, who lifted in the afternoon session.
I'm sorry, what?
Charlie Dixon that lifted in the afternoon session.
Not in this primetime session.
He was not in this primetime session. Is leading subtotal 497.5.
So we mentioned that a little bit earlier, that we have these primetime sessions who are for the top tier lifters, because that's who we want to showcase.
Right.
However, we do have afternoon sessions. We have over 1,200 lifters here competing, and some of them are not obviously lifting on the primetime session. However, they still have the opportunity to win.
So second place in the subtotal, L.S. McLean at 492.5. And in third place, John Gayko, who is also from the afternoon session, at 487.5.
Gotcha.
All right, so we have first and third place at subtotals came from the earlier session of the non-primetime lifters.
Wow.
Now, here's where it gets really absolutely crazy. Forecast for after opening attempt deadlifts, David Wolson is in first place at 815. Charlie Dixon in second place at 812.5. Ruska in third at 812.5.
So it's going to be tight. And the advantage of being in the primetime session is that the afternoon sessions have already lifted.
Yep.
So you just have to load it.
It's a little bit different to load it up and pull, and the guys that are going after them all have big pulls. But the thing is, Wilson and Dixon are great lifters on their own, you know, and it's kind of, they were really close to being in here because you're only including usually about 10 lifters. So 11 and 12 aren't in there, but there's some good guys. So depending on what their qualifying total was, they might have wound up hitting one more lift and been there, but they may still win the national title.
All right, so we are here at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals, 72 kilo women with
Gina Hensley
thank
with her
you.
opener. She looks like she's having fun because deadlifts are fun.
Some might say that. Personally, I'm team squat. I know you're not supposed to say that.
No, you're definitely not.
This is when people start getting fired up. You may or may not hear Gino in the background there, but this is when. Now, listen. I'm not team deadlift, for the record.
You've let it be known.
However, at a meet, the only time I want to do a deadlift is at a meet.
Yeah.
That is the most fun. It's a true story.
For some reason, it just doesn't hurt as much as in training, right?
It doesn't.
It just, maybe it's the adrenaline. Next, we've got Rory Alter. She's got a big deadlift. She's got a big squat. She's got a big everything. What can I say? As do all of these lifters in this primetime session. Rory's an intense competitor. And I know she's been dealing with some hip issues, but looks like that's a smooth opener for her. I don't know about you, Jen, but I'm a sumo puller as well. And my deadlift takes about 8 seconds to leave the floor. So if you notice some of these lifters, maybe a part of the lift looks easy, but off the floor it's a little slow, or vice versa, just know that it's just hard through some certain parts.
Yes. So we got Chloe here, who is the current leader. And that lift looked good for her.
And that was 190 kilos for Chloe. Good lift for her.
Again, Chloe is the current leader. Likely to win. Again, as a junior, be taking the open for the first time. The open division actually is wide open this year.
Definitely a lot of changes in this class. Kristen Dunsmore for 190 kilos for her opener. Looking like a confident, smooth lift. She's got 3 white lights. She looked a little unsure of that. I don't know what she was thinking.
I'm not sure what happened there, yeah.
Maybe she was just like, whoa, it moves so fast. I don't know what to do.
Sometimes you're a little bit too fired up. We've have Ellen here with the same attempt, 190 kilos, 418 pounds. Looks good here. This is moving.
This is moving nice and quickly for an exciting show here at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals. This is the Titex primetime session. We've got the best of the best, the 72 kilo women powerlifters.
Soraya opening with 192.5 kilos, 424 pounds. Looks good enough. You may notice a different stance between lifters. One is conventional, one is sumo. Neither is easier or harder.
Well, the internet will tell you that one is easier over the other. I won't say which, but which way do you pull, Jen?
I pull conventional.
And I'm team sumo, so we'll see which stance wins this meet today.
That's right. We have Madeline here with the opening attempt. Looks solid. $192.5, same.
192.5 for her.
A lot of repeated openers there. Again, a lot of times a trend in the opening deadlift attempt is that it's relatively simple. I find it's a little bit easier to take a big jump on the deadlift as opposed to some of the other lifts. So you might see that trend from 1 to 2, a bigger jump.
Taryn starting off our seconds with 170 kilos, 374 pounds.
Taryn's had a great day so far, and she looks to be continuing that trend.
There she goes. 3 white lights for a make. Now, Jen, can you tell me what's going on? Why do all these girls have, what is it, chalk on their legs?
It is baby powder.
Baby powder? What does baby what do babies have anything to do with powerlifting?
So, as we have said before, this is a sport about lifting as much weight as possible. And the bar will come in contact with your leg. And what we want to do is have that bar slide. So, we'll throw some baby powder on there to make that slide just a little bit smoother.
Just make it nice and smooth. But you can see Jordan here. She has chalk on her hands, baby powder on the legs. For a confident 185 kilo attempt. Good lift for her.
So at this point, the lifters have made 6 attempts. So, well, they've attempted. They've taken 6 attempts. So at this point in the meet, some fatigue may be setting in, but then combined with also some adrenaline, as Rory is displaying perfectly. Thank you, Rory.
Rory's an intense lifter. She gets the best photos because she looks so incredibly scary.
Yes.
But pretty awesome. I
want to be the person that makes that photo, and I'm just not. Rory's good for 195 kilos on a second attempt, 420. Let's call it 430 pounds. Let's just do that.
Next, this is Gina Hensley for her second. She was having fun for her first, feeling confident, saying a few words to herself as she's getting amped up for this second attempt. How long do you think it should be?
As Meg was saying earlier, with the sumo deadlift, it might seem a little bit slower off the floor. You know, the lift starts much sooner than you think it does. And then once it gets moving, though.
I say just close your eyes and count to 10, and eventually it'll break the floor. So just keep on pulling. Haley's up next, and hers didn't need any time to break the floor. Confident attempt.
It's always a lovely feeling, actually.
Whew. Sometimes it'll take you by surprise.
And I know I already said it, but man, these deads are flying. We
are
rolling.
Are we talking fast enough? Chloe Dublin's up. 200 kilos finally on the bar. It's 440 pounds.
Again, Chloe's our contender here for gold. Let's see what the judges say here.
There was a little bit of downward movement, I think they called it, or maybe some hitching.
I think that was downward motion.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the strength was there for the most part.
A little bit of patience there.
Yeah. So let's see if she can come back and get that, because she is in contention for the win.
We got Ellen with the same attempt, 200 kilos with a conventional pull. Looks solid.
3 white lights. Jinx.
Again, bar stays the same.
Bar stays the same. No loading needed. It's ready to go.
Madeline Scott here. Good lift.
And when there are repeat attempts like that, it'll make the meet run even faster. Because if Madeline is in the back and her clock is running and she's ready, then she's just going to lift it because the adrenaline is there and she's ready to go. So it looks like that's what she did. She didn't waste any time.
Absolutely. And the spotters and loaders also love that.
Yeah. Less work for them.
At this point, as a person who has spotted and loaded during a meet, I'm going to tell you that loading deadlifts is one of the more difficult lifts to load.
I can imagine. 3 white lights for Soraya. Soraya Salami messaged me today to tell me that she is lifting in memory of her grandfather, who was a Persian weightlifter. So like I said, she's got some strength in the family. And she had a rough start, but it looks like she's on the up and up for this meet. Kristen Dunsmore next, 205 kilos.
This looks to be a meet PR for Kristen by about 5 kilos. And it looked
easy. Well, 3 white lights, and she's happy with that. Well, Kristen actually moved up from the 63 kilo class, and I know she's been dealing with some injuries, but some extra weight on the body may bring some extra kilos on the barbell.
And that was deadlift number 2 for a PR deadlift, correct? Yeah, deadlift number 2. She secured a PR there. That's always a great position to be in. So Taryn is going to take us into deadlift attempt numero tres with 175 kilos, 385 pounds.
Taryn was looking happy in the back, smiling with her coach, hoping for a nice third pull. Oh, just there. Almost there for Taryn. Unfortunately, that's a no lift. She didn't quite finish the lockout there.
So we have Jordan with third attempt dead, 190 kilos, 418 pounds. Now, the third deadlift is a special thing.
You know, it don't matter what it looks like, Jen. Just pull it off the floor and finish the lift.
Wade Johnson says, it's not a beauty contest. You did or you did not.
That's a good way to think about it. Just finish the lift. It's your last one.
This is what we come here for. A little fight here.
A big fight for Jordan Davis. You will see those lifts where you get a little shaky. Your body's telling you, no, I can't do this. But a lot of times you can grind through that and make the lift. Depends on whether it's there and whether or not it's a good day. How much you eat, it could depend on a million different things. So
we got Gina here with 200 kilos, 440 pounds. This will give her a 465 kilo total should she complete the lift. Not quite there. Again, like we said before, the sumo pull, oftentimes it's not going to break the floor, and then it's going to become a fail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, once upon a time I pulled sumo. And
what?
And my husband, one time I went to pull my third attempt deadlift and it didn't move from the ground. And my husband's like, "Were you pulling?" And I was like,
Did you even try, Jen Milliken?
Yes. And that oftentimes that is the situation with a sumo pull. We got Chloe here who went up from 200 kilos. So she missed 200 kilos and she went ahead and went up. She made the lift. However, she got some red lights for up and down on the bar, I believe. So this is a huge move for Chloe.
Keep it up.
And that
yes,
looks clean to
that
me.
looks clean. Her coach is celebrating a little bit. Let's see. Yes.
He can't contain himself.
3 white lights. I love this guy.
I love Chloe. Like I said before, she came and trained with us, and her coach, Jeremy Hartman, she would tell me stories about him, and it sounds like the dream team. Like
yeah.
He gets fired up. He's the powerlifting coach.
Love that.
So we have Rory here with 205 kilos on the bar. It's going to give her 485 total if she completes it. Which I think is going to give her a silver.
So Rory going for second place here to get on that podium. It looks like highest total maybe at this point, Chloe Dublin.
At 495.
At 495. So let's see if what Rory can pull. Will she make 205 kilos? So far her deadlifts have been going well. Nice pull for Rory. When you smile at the top, give it a little nod. Yeah, just hold it up at top to celebrate for just a second.
I'm going to wait.
Just let her have the second.
We have Haley again, same attempt, 205 kilos. It's going to give her a 445 total. Looks like Haley's best competition pull is 200 kilos, so this will be a PR for her.
Nice.
And it looks like she locked that in.
Looks like Haley's got a big deadlift of the 3. So it's nice to finish with 3 good lifts on your favorite lift.
And again, hit a competition PR, which again is always so satisfying.
Yep. Always try to do better than the last time.
A little bit.
Soraya Salami, 207.5 kilos.
This would be a big meet PR for Soraya. Best so far is 200 kilos, so we're talking a 7.5 kilo PR attempt, which is, well, like 15 pounds.
Yeah, which is pretty big. I mean, and then when you getting 2.5 kilos in each lift is a satisfying day. It might not seem like that much, but, once those beginner gains are over,
right.
Take every kilo you can get.
So we've got Kristen Dunsmore.
210 kilos for Kristen Dunsmore.
And this may, if she makes this lift, this may pull her into first. Am I right?
An easy pull for Kristen Dunsmore.
So her and Chloe Dublin are tied for total. I need to check the body weight.
It looks like it looks like her and Chad Wesley Smith are celebrating enough. And it doesn't look like a second place finish celebration. I could be wrong. Second place at the national level would be the best that Kristen Dunsmore has completed, at least as far as I know. So I'm sorry if I'm wrong there. But since she's moved up to the 72 kilo class, I think that's a big win for her, whether it be first or second. But they look kind of gold happy. We'll check our stats to make sure. Ellen Liverpool, 210 kilos. For a grind there.
A fight. She's not going to quit on this. That was all heart for Ellen.
That was all heart. You can't be mad at a pull that tough. She's kind of making eye contact with the center judge.
So it looks like Kristen Dunsmore did take gold. Kristen Dunsmore took gold there. Chloe Dublin took gold in the teen division. But Kristen Dunsmore looks to be your
72 kilo national champion, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I need to check what's happening here with Madeline. Yeah, no. Okay, so Madeline's going to close out with 210 kilos here. A good fight. A solid third attempt for Madeline.
Bryce in the back freaking out for Madeline there.
Yes.
Hugs all around from her coaches.
So that is going to wrap up our 72 kilo women, and that is going to put Kristen Dunsmore as your number 1 finisher, gold place finisher. We have Chloe Dublin for number 2.
Congratulations to Kristen Dunsmore. It looks like she may be going to World Championships in Sweden. If she chooses to make the trip. I mean, Sweden sounds pretty sweet, if you ask me. Congratulations to her. So I hope that that's the case. That's kind of the goal for lifters in this primetime session who are so competitive. They are really looking at that opportunity to represent their country at a world title.
Yes. So in USA powerlifting, the way that you win a spot on the world team is to win your weight class here at nationals.
Mm-hmm.
And so Kristen Dunsmore just won her spot as a 72 kilo lifter should she decide to accept the invitation and make the trip. Obviously, we would love to have a representative there for the 72 kilo women.
Of course. And for her to come up from the 63 kilo class, anytime you decide to change weight classes, it is a big choice that you kind of make for yourself, and you also look at how competitive you will be. Sometimes being lighter may be more advantageous, but also putting on some weight may give you an opportunity to grow into another class and dominate, which she just did. So that's awesome for her to, change weight classes and do what she has probably wanted to do for years.
Big congratulations to Kristen. We're now moving into the 93 kilo men at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals. Opening deadlift attempts. Dave Ricks was good for 265, I'm sorry. We have Austin with 3 red lights on 297.5. Hopefully Austin comes back to get that. We got LS with the same attempt here at 297.5 kilos, 665 pounds, I think. I can't see that far. LS pulling sumo. LS also has that coveted white and black SBD singlet.
I mean, it looks pretty sharp. Did he change in the middle of the meet?
I think he did.
You think superstition or style?
With LS, I'm going to go with style.
Well, he looks great nonetheless. Matthew next for 300 kilos, breaking that 300 kilo mark for our first attempts here. This is the 93 class at your Titex Primetime on Saturday night at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals. We are closing out the meet. We're at the deadlift.
So we have LS currently ranked number 1 with 812.5, which is actually tied with an afternoon lifter.
Charlie Dixon
with the same total, 812.5.
And Charlie Dixon was an 83 lifter. I think he used his qualifying total. I could be wrong. He used his qualifying total that he hit in the 83 class and didn't make prime time because he was a little bit smaller, and I think he's been growing into that class and lifted in the afternoon. No prime time for Charlie Dixon, but he is a contender.
So we have Jonathan Keiko here opening with 302.5 kilos, 666 pounds. Jonathan pulling conventional looks good.
So, Jen, I'm just wondering, when you're getting up and setting up ready for the deadlift, what's going through your head?
What's going through my head is just keep pulling. No matter what.
That's it.
That's it.
Keeping it simple.
Yes.
You don't have to remember anything. You just have to stick with the bar. Keep it in your hands.
That's right.
Sean Mosier up next. 305 kilo attempt. That's 672 pounds.
Again, Sean Mosier had some trouble with deadlifts at last year's Nationals. Bombed, but it looks like he is in this meet no matter what. Smart move there. You have, as we said earlier, you have to get at least one of each lift. If nothing else. You got to get one.
I'm sure there's someone out there who's won a meet and has gone 3 out of 9. That wouldn't be my favorite day, I won't lie, but if I won, I guess I couldn't be mad.
That's true.
Kyle Power, let's see if he can bring it to first attempt on deadlift. It's 317.5 kilos. That's just barely, I'm going to round that up to 700 pounds.
That's a crazy deadlift. That's 700 pounds that's on the floor, and he's going to pick it up.
And he's going to hold it in his hands until somebody else tells him to put it down.
And he's going to do it really easily, actually, turns out.
No problem. No thang.
We had Daniel here loading with 325 kilos, 716 pounds.
There's a lot of red plates on that bar.
And we're not even to our heaviest deadlift for this 93 kilo session for the men.
Whew. In the announcement room, I can feel that deadlift hit the floor. It's shaking the entire hotel because that is very, very heavy. And we're adding more weight on the bar for Ashton Ruska, 330 kilos. That's 727 pounds for first attempt for Ashton. His clock is running.
So as we were saying earlier, there are technical rules that you have to follow for each lift.
Mm-hmm.
The deadlift is by far the simplest. There's only one command, and it is down. And there's also a 1 minute clock for each lift. You have to start the lift within that 1 minute. And Ashton is gonna take his time there.
He's waiting until lucky 13 seconds to set up to the bar. And it worked out for him.
No problem for Ashton there.
Maybe he had a hype song on and he just needed to get to his favorite part before he got to the platform, because it ended up working out. 3 white lights.
We have David Wilson here, 337.5 kilos. Again, now he had a really wide stance. I'm willing to bet he's a sumo puller. I might be wrong. I've never seen him. Let's see.
Well, sometimes when you can go wide in the squat, then you can go wide in the deadlift.
Yep.
Must mean he's strong out there.
Lift is good for David
3
Wilson.
white lights. There he goes.
Okay, so that is going to close out our first attempt deads. We got Dave Ricks leading us off with second attempt deadlifts, 287.5 kilos. It looks like Dave is, as far as second attempts goes, not quite forecasted for a first place finish in the open, but who knows what's going to happen from 2 to 3.
Well, he's definitely forecasted for a male Master 2 first place. And I heard that Dave Ricks likes to lift with his eyes closed. Unconventional, to say the least.
Like his deadlift.
I love it.
Unconventional. Lift looks good for Dave, and he's pumped about it.
Like I said, just close your eyes and count to 10, and the bar will go up, which is exactly what Dave needed to do.
We have LS here with a 315 kilo attempt. Again, LS is an IPF world champion 2 times. 2 times on an alternate spot.
LS is forecasted to finish 4th, currently in 7th place.
Liz looks good for LS. Again, in that black and white singlet that I want.
I think if you talk to SBD, they might throw you one for free. What do you think, Jen Milliken?
Word on the street is that SBD is going to redistribute these black and white singlets.
Oh. So it's a limited quantity type of deal.
There is currently 0 quantities. But I think they're going to bring it back because the demand is high. We got Jonathan Keiko with 315 kilos for his second attempt deadlift. He is currently forecasted at 5th place. Again, anything can happen from deadlift 2 to 3. You really just don't know.
Keiko making sure that he's in the right position to get the most strength that he possibly has. Taking his time. And it looks like it worked well. 3 white lights for a good lift. Next up is Sean Mosier for the same weight, 315 pounds. You'll see the spotters and loaders will make sure that the bar is nice and dry and good to go for the next lifter, but no need to change any plates.
Easy lift for Sean.
Oh. That'll happen sometime. I'm not sure if it was his grip. Maybe it looked like it could have been his grip, or maybe he lost his balance up the top there, but hopefully he can come back and get that or more for his third.
So, as Meg and I were saying, there's not a ton of rules when it comes to deadlift, but one of them is that you have to have your hands on the bar when you put it down. You cannot. There's no dropping from the top here. So Sean got 3 red lights because he did not lower the bar down with hands in contact with the bar.
Austin Schrader up next, 317.5 kilos. He's doing a little rollout into position.
So the judges say here.
Good lift. You saw his hands started opening up slightly. Did you see that on his fingers? But like you said, he still had contact with his hands in the bar. So even if you got a pinky on that thing, I think it's still a good lift.
Yes. Be aggressive if you want, but your hands got to be on that bar when you put it down. We have Matthew here with 320 kilos, 705 pounds. Second attempt deads are like the beginning of the party. It's like you're getting there. Oh, close. Close for Matthew. Not quite locked out. Again, with the deadlift at the top, you need to have hips through, shoulders locked. It doesn't have to be over-exaggerated, but it's got to be there.
And you've got to wait for the judge to understand that you're fully in control and fully locked out. Remember when Rory was holding that thing up at the top, like, yeah, this is mine, I've got it. You want to be comfortable to where you're holding the bar and not still grinding through your rep. So that's what the judges are looking for, some confidence and stability at the top of the lift and fully locked out.
Got Kyle here with 335 kilos.
Kyle's making sure that his barbell is exactly where he wants it because there's no room to move around your barbell. You put it where you want it. 335. Let's see if he's got this.
Again, there's no commands on the deadlift other than down. You walk up to the bar, you do what you want with it, you start when you're ready, as long as you're within that 1 minute time frame, and you put it down when the judge says down, you're good to go. We have Ashton with 300. No, I'm sorry. Where are we at here?
It looks like 300.
We got Daniel.
Yes, this is Daniel Libre. 337.5 kilos. Looks like there may have been a change. Oh. That looked confident through most of the pool, but he may have lost his balance right at the top.
And that is typical of us. You wouldn't see something like that typically in a conventional pool. That's something that will happen on a sumo pool. You know, that leverage right there at the top where it gets a little tricky.
Yep. Ashton Ruska's up next. It looks like he has an attempt for 347.5 kilos.
Looks like it's 766 pounds. I'm trying to read from far away.
That's a lot of pounds. It's a lot of kilos.
It's actually enough to move him to the number 1 position here.
So he's making a call to hit that on his second. And if he can confidently make this, which that's not a crazy jump compared to some of the other jumps that we've seen from first to second. His first attempt, 330, so he's got that locked in. So if he can make this and then have more room to grow.
So that's a big move here.
That's a good spot to be in.
It looks like a solid lift. So now
maybe slightly slower than some of the other seconds that we've seen, but if that's what you want to do, then I would do it. I mean, if I was in that spot to secure first with a second attempt and you're one of the last deadlifters, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so now he's essentially sending a message to the other lifters here that he's here to play.
He's saying, I'm here. Let's go. Let's make the thirds even more fun to watch for our rest of our viewers in this primetime session.
So we've got David Wilson here with 350 kilos. This gives him a forecasted total of 427.5, which is 10 kilos behind Ashton. And he's good for that. So we'll see what kind of jump we make here. For third attempts, it'll get interesting on these third attempts for sure. We got Dave Ricks with a 310 kilo third attempt deadlift. Dave Ricks comes on out. He's ready. Checks the load.
Make sure the loaders are doing what they're here to do. I don't know how he counts the plates that quickly. I couldn't do it. I can't count how many plates are already on there. Hyping himself up. Always fun to watch when a lifter is really passionate.
Dave Ricks will definitely be taking the Master 2 gold place finish here. No, not quite there. Dave Ricks always puts on a good show. Big congratulations to him, closing out his 2018 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals.
Best deadlift for him was 287.5 kilos.
We got Matthew with 320 kilos. He missed this on a second, so we shall see if he is able to come back and get it for the third. He's repeating it.
This is just going to take a lot of will and a lot of strength for him to pull through on this one.
Oh. Oh, no, again. He's right there with it. Just a little bit. I'm not sure if it's grip.
Yeah, it looked like he looked a little bit at his hands. So he is pulling with a double overhand position. So he's getting a hook grip where he's essentially like locking his thumbs into place there, which you'll see some of our lifters do, especially in primetime sessions. Kind of painful because your thumbs are holding all 700 pounds of that weight. But some lifters do find it more advantageous, so maybe he was having some trouble with that.
Perhaps.
Could be.
We got Sean here with 320 kilos. He missed 315 for a second, so took a little bit of a jump here, a little bit of a risk. Looks good enough. Judges. Good lift.
Good lift. It's nice to end on that and come back from it.
Sean's going to end his national meet with an 802.5 kilo total. We got LS coming out with a 325 kilo third attempt deadlift. So this will move LS into a bronze position. If he finishes lift, he will be your bronze lifter as far as we know. As far as it goes now.
And it looks like there is another lifter, Charlie Dixon, who will end on that total, I believe, 812.5 kilos, who lifted earlier today. So
it may come down then to body weight.
That may be the case. So let's hope LS can lock this one down. He's definitely a crowd favorite.
So to podium, he needs this lift. Again, LS is is an experienced lifter, especially in a high pressure situation.
And a little smirk up top there, because I think he knows he's got it. And daps to the loaders on his way out with that third place finish.
So that is going to give LS a third bronze medal position by body weight.
So actually, I was wrong.
No.
That's an 822.5 kilo total. I think I read that wrong then. The other total I was mentioning was only 812. Well, not only, but was 812.5 kilos. So LS does lock in that third place finish.
So we got Jonathan Keiko with 325 kilos.
And if he makes this will forecast into fourth place. He's getting ready, making sure that he's exactly where he needs to be for a big pull. Whew. Happy up top. That's a good place to be. And 3 white lights.
A little flex.
Double bicep flex for the fans.
Because why not?
Because for the gram. We've been over this, Jen.
Yes.
You know what it is.
Going to school with Meg squats. We have got Austin here with 330 kilos. This will give Austin a first place finish in the teen division. 18 to 19.
And again, this is a teen American record attempt.
The crowd's getting behind him here. A little bit of a grip issue there. Good effort. Solid effort by Austin.
If you've got a shot at an American record attempt,
You take it.
you take it.
Still going to lock him up for the male teen division there. He's going to finish first place as far as that goes. We've got Kyle coming in with 350 kilos.
If Kyle makes this would forecast him in fourth place.
Fourth place.
So let's see if he can get in that top 5 position.
Looks like this is Kyle's already locked up several PRs here on the deadlift attempt. So it looks like his best competition PR before this is 322.5. So
So he's already blown that out of the water.
Yeah.
So hopefully a happy day for him overall.
not quite enough. Either way, a great day for Kyle. Locked up some PRs there. He is going to finish. Where'd he go?
And it looks like he took that reach, maybe a big PR for him so that he could lock in a top 5 position there.
Right.
Which is something to do when you're this competitive. So when it's there, when it's time to get in the top 5, it's time to go for it. Let's see what Daniel Libre hits. He's taking a 350 kilo attempt. That's 771 pounds.
Again, he's looking to lock in that top 5 finish. Oh, not quite. Not quite there.
Crowd's starting to go a little crazy as this 93 kilo class on Primetime Saturday at USA Powerlifting World Nationals, as we are figuring out who our podium finishers will be tonight.
We got Ashton with a 353 kilo attempt, which is a chip. So we're looking at an American record here. I'm assuming in the junior division. So he's looking to chip the male junior division deadlift record here. He'll take number 1 in there. He's looking like a number 2 finish overall if he gets this deadlift. This will be a small PR for Ashton, over a small competition PR for Ashton. Looks like he's going to chip not only the American record but also his own record. So it's a big pull for Ashton here. And his second attempts look easy enough. Not quite there.
Not quite there.
Not quite there. Still a strong finish for Ashton.
Looks like he may still lock in that second place position. Is that right? We've got one more deadlifter. David Wilson, 355.5 kilos.
Looking to lock in the gold place finish here.
David is taking this attempt for the win. This is only this is only a small jump from his last attempt, which he finished. So let's see if he can get it. It's not like this is a huge reach for him. It's not like this is a huge jump or anything crazy. He's going for the win. Let's see if he can make it.
This is it. This is what we're here for, this pull.
This is game time.
This is when you execute. Judges, lift is good.
3 white lights for David Wilson, and that is the win.
That is your 93-kilo national champion, David Wilson. Congratulations.
And that's an awesome feeling to know what you need to take for the win. Friends and family on the platform, giving him, competitors, congratulating him on the win. I know that we mentioned last year his performance in this same class, in this same competition, was we've got behind us, if you cut to the camera, our other champion of the day, Kristen Dunsmore. It looks like she's ready to enjoy the night. Yeah, she's a little embarrassed now that she knows she was on camera. But David Wilson is our winner.
We got David Wilson in your gold place finish. We have Ashton in your
second place finish.
Second place silver finish. Let me find the third place here. LS
who locked that in. And those are your top 3 for tonight for this 93-kilo class. That was the Titex Primetime here at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals. That was quite a show. Last deadlift to win it. I mean, what more could you ask for as far as entertainment purposes,
That's what
right?
we do. That's what we're here for.
We've got some fans of David Wilson back here who are really excited that he won. So we're happy that we got to see a good show. It's not always a good show, so that was really entertaining to watch. Thank you all for tuning in to this primetime session. And Jen, what are your tips? How do we get stronger? Tell us.
Just keep lifting.
Just keep lifting. It's easy as that. And that's all from us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're watching on the live stream on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe to USA Powerlifting. Why not?
They say competing in powerlifting and running your own business is crazy. Yeah, I still do it though.